You know,
I run on nicotine and caffeine.
we're the same age, and I tell you anymore, if I drink a lot of water. I had some stomach issues, and the doc says drink water. It really helps with the indigestion real bad. And it's just chewing, but I won't give it up. But if I can sleep through the night or get about 4 or 5 hours without having to get up and pee,
Yeah.
about 6 o'clock.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know,
That's me.
when we fly, we have family out of state, so we have to fly there. The day before I leave, I start dehydrating myself. I can't stand to get on a plane and have to try to pee. And it never fails. I don't know if it's the cabin pressure or what. I can go pee 5 seconds before I get on. As soon as it gets up in the air, I gotta go pee. You know, and everyone, you're walking down the aisle trying to get people out of your way.
Especially when you gotta really go.
Yeah, so I've learned to just dehydrate myself like crazy before. And it never fails. It never fails.
It seems like I drink more at night. Whenever I go to bed, I have to have something right there. Because I get up 2 or 3 times to do my my nebulizer, and then you have to have something to drink to wash the yuckiness out, go down.
My grandson's got asthma real bad, and he starts wheezing. And we're fighting with the insurance company to get him one of those breathing things, so they can give him treatments at home instead of having to go pay $1,000 at the ER to get a breathing treatment. The insurance company says, well, no, you got to have a prescription from a doctor to get it. We're going.
You do. Although both my machines were gave to me. You know, I didn't have to.
The steroid stuff that you put in, you have a prescription, right? Is that how that works?
Albuterol, sulfate, and something.
Okay. He's going to be nice to you anyway. Well,
I know you said no, but I always feel guilty drinking for somebody, and I'm offering.
Wade and them have a little advantage over me, Tony. They've met you before, and I want to I thank you for coming down here to talk to them.
Well, you know, as a state employee, you know, it's something we have to do.
Well,
We have to abide by all
well, we appreciate
law enforcement and all that.
And here's where we're kind of bad. We're still looking at the Hurston Hatfield thing, and we're going back and we're talking to a lot of people. And I know over the years.
You weren't there the first time they came down, were you?
You know.
No, I was with Miller the last time we came to talk to you about the other deal.
You, over 17 years, I know in my life, I've changed a lot. And so we wanted to talk to you about if you can kind of tell me 17 years ago how your life was, how that neighborhood was, what was going on in that neighborhood. I know I've read some of the reports that from the interviews before, and how it appears to me that they call you Uncle Tony around there because you care about the kids. You were feeding some of the kids.
Yeah.
And
basically, when I
lived
there was a bunch of older people. That was like no retirement place, but most of the people in that area were old retirees.
Yeah.
And you know, I like doing stuff all the time. You know, I was always outside, and if somebody's working on their vehicle, got to go be busybody, hey, you know, and help them, or somebody's washing machine was broke down. And older people, you know, they can't. Older people, you know, can't do stuff, and I've always been mechanically inclined, you know, where I could figure stuff out, you know, or help them move this, or, you know, just, I've always been, I don't know about friendly, but neighborly.
Right.
And that being my first home, you know, I tried to make it where that neighborhood was my home.
Yeah. Well, did you help any of the kids over there?
Well, when
feed them pizza?
Yeah, there's always That's
Your
my pet.
Kool-Aid house?
Well, I don't know about Kool-Aid. That's always been my pet peeve, is I grew up hungry. You know, and there's a lot of kids hungry.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not where I'd go out of my way, hey, you hungry? But I mean, you see kids, you're over there eating something, and they're just,
Right.
you know, you see them draw it, here, take it. I
Right.
can't stand that.
Yeah.
And I'm like that now. I got 2 damn kids in my house, grown boys. One, he says that when he was at his house, he didn't eat from Monday to Friday till he got to my house.
Wow. You know, that's one of the stories I want to turn my phone off so people will leave me alone.
Before we get started here, Tony, let me go ahead and I want to read you your Miranda warning, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish one. And if you decide to make a statement, you can stop at any time. And do you understand each of those rights I've explained to you? Having those rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us?
Yes.
Okay. As my partner Lander said, we're still working on the Hatfield case, okay? And there's some things that we want to go back over with you. We try to be as thorough as we can be on cases like this, and I'd like to go back initially over some of what you've already talked to Detective Miller about in the past. I wasn't there. I'm kind of up to speed on some of it, but my understanding is when Kirsten disappeared, you were still living there
Yes.
at 1104, correct? Okay. Do you mind just initially kind of take us back to 1997 and go back over that, maybe that evening before and into that morning when all of it all kind of started blowing up, and just best you can tell us everything you remember. And take your time. I know we're going back some years.
Yeah, and I'm starting to get that old timer stuff. But really the only thing I can really remember is afterwards, you know, when, you know, 'cause it was just a typical day. You know, got off work, went home, had supper, watched TV. Because used to being a landscaper, my yard was my pride.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wanted to play in my yard because my yard was nothing but Bermuda.
There
I
you
mean,
go.
I had, you know, I just had Bermuda grass.
Sure.
But I mean, not that they came over there, but that's what I did. I always worked on my yard.
Mm-hmm. And back then you said you were working at the Capitol?
Yes.
So, okay, so you were very experienced at keeping the yard
Oh,
up.
yeah. I, well, you know, got chemical license, all that.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Okay. You remember anything about the day or evening before? You said it was just a typical day. You worked all day and then went home. You remember anything unusual about that evening that stands out to you?
No, other than what I told them about, you know, seeing the white truck, you know, in front of the white Chevy truck in front of their yard.
Okay.
You know, I like I said, I didn't have anything to do with those people. Didn't know them at all. You know,
Okay.
It's not like I went, hey, yeah, you guys live girls. No, it wasn't nothing like that.
Okay.
I was outside working on my yard. You know, either talking to the neighbors or kid would come by, Tony, can you fix my bike? You know, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it wasn't like I'd tell them to come over or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't go to other people's houses unless, you know, I was needed or something like that. But everybody just got, oh, Tony will fix your bike and blah, 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 you know. And I tried to make it feel like, you know, that was kind of a safe place, you know, for, you know. Because I had Tristy at the time. She wasn't there during that time. But I had Tristy there since she was, you know, small. And whenever she was there, you know, the kids would come and play with her. And,
Now,
you
who
know,
is Tristy?
she was one of my girlfriend's daughters.
Okay.
That stayed with me a lot.
Okay. So you had a good bond with Tristy, I'm assuming?
Yeah, yeah.
Was she?
And her mom, yeah.
Who was mom?
Mom's dead, unfortunately. Melody, I wonder which name she wanted to go to. Howell.
old is
two
Christy
daughters.
now? Grown, I'm assuming.
Yeah, about 30.
Okay.
No, we don't talk that much anymore because everybody's into this computer stuff, and that's how they communicate. But my daughter was looking on her Facebook, and she'd send us a text that she was fixing to have or that I'm a grandpa.
No.
She had a daughter.
Okay.
You said you didn't know them. I'm assuming you're meaning Shannon and
Yeah.
Kirsten?
Yeah.
Or
And I couldn't even tell you how long they'd lived there.
Okay. I was going to actually ask you that. So you didn't know how long they'd been living there when this happened?
And I going to think they hadn't been there very long.
And tell me what you remember about that. Do you remember seeing them move in or anything?
No. No. I'm trying to remember. A friend of mine lived in that house. I can't remember what his damn name is, but he had a janitorial service, Janny King, and I'd visit with him. I helped him put the fence up around his house. You know, helped him. In fact, his boy come up missing one day.
Really?
Yeah, he was like 7 or 8 or younger than that. And we went looking everywhere for him. We finally found him. He was under the bed. Went to sleep and crawled underneath the bed. But I mean, everybody was freaking. We had Midwest City out there, and of course, you know, everybody in the neighborhood was out there looking. Me and him were, you know, going up street, you know, hollering his name, and then she calls, said, "Yeah, we found him. He's under the bed."
That's usually where we start. You learn that early on in FTO school. Check all the closets, check out in the boat, in the backyard, and shed.
Yeah.
So you're saying this friend of yours lived at the house where
Right.
Shannon and Kirsten lived?
Right.
Okay. And was that immediately before them, or do you know? Do you remember?
I don't remember, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
And I don't remember if after he moved out, if there had been somebody in that house before they did, or what. I don't remember.
You remember that guy's name? I know you said you didn't.
William was his first name.
Okay.
I don't remember what his last name was. That's been a while back.
And you said you helped put up the fence around the property, so we're talking about the
Yeah,
stockade
the privacy
fence in the
fence,
back?
yeah.
Mhm. So you and William put that up?
Yeah, plank at a time.
That's the old school way.
Yeah.
Makes it look nice that way,
Stick
though.
at a time, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we had to put it up twice because we had a storm come in and it blew one side all the way back down. So we had to go put it back up. We got him to finally put the steel, the metal holes. Yeah.
Okay. So, had you ever been inside that house when that gentleman lived there, William?
Well, yeah.
Okay. And you don't recall his name, but he owned or worked for Janny King?
I think he had a, what do you call it, you know, anyway, yeah.
Janitorial service?
Yeah, it was a janitorial service, but, you know, you can have a piece of that company, but you still be the company, but you're your own boss. Franchise. There we go. That's the critter I was looking for.
So you never, I'm assuming you probably saw Shannon and Kirsten running around the neighborhood and so forth.
To tell you the truth, until that happened, I think I seen the kid one time. She was playing with Crystal that lived up the street, but I don't remember if it was in that time frame or what. I really don't, because like I said, I didn't pay no attention.
Okay. Do you remember ever like giving food to Kirsten
Oh,
or
no.
talking to Kirsten?
No.
Was she ever at your house?
No.
Anything like
No.
that? Okay.
No.
And do you remember?
I'm actually a leery guy until, you know, people start coming around. You know, I'm not just, oh yeah, I will be your friend. You know, no, not like that.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. I didn't pay attention to, you know, who all was there or who they were. You know, things like that in my world just fall in place. You know, we accidentally meet. Oh, okay. You know, now I know you. You know,
Right.
then. But no, never,
Okay.
never.
Do you ever recall helping Kirsten with her bike
No.
or anything? You don't
No.
remember any interactions with her at
No.
all?
No, I know there wasn't any interactions. I didn't know them at all. And like I said, I don't even know how long they'd been living there until that happened.
Okay.
Because I was always, me, that was back when I was fishing. I'd usually come off of work, I'd load up my poles, go to Draper. And sometimes I'd stay there all night.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd always have, you know, second jobs, you know, after hour jobs,
Mm-hmm.
either landscaping or anything to make a buck.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm pretty sure that Detective Miller talked to you this before, but am I correct that you said you had never been over there mowing for Shannon or
No,
working on
never.
her property or? Okay.
No.
Seems like that come up. Somebody thought you might have been mowing over there or something.
No, he was asking if it's about something about a handyman, is what he was asking me about.
Okay. Well, do you remember ever mowing over there or
No.
anything like that?
No.
Okay. While they lived there, do you remember ever being in the yard, the front or backyard for any reason? Okay. How about in the house?
Nope.
Okay.
And
So there was never any time
No.
that Shannon asked for your help to
No.
fix this or that or
No.
mow the yard for me or? Okay.
Just tell you the truth, the only good, and I didn't even recognize her when y'all showed me the pictures of her.
Mhm.
That was the only time I could actually say, okay, that's, you know. I met her once afterwards. She was going up and down the street and, you know, she was still looking for her kid and, you know, I met her once. I gave her some money so she'd have gas money so she could keep doing what she was doing, you know.
Was this like in the days after or
Yeah,
talking a long
days
time?
after.
Let me bounce back a little bit. We got off a little bit off track. I was kind of having you go back over what you remembered through the night, and I read over the FBI notes that they took when they talked to you. I guess there was some information about you hearing dogs barking.
Yeah, I had a dog in the backyard, his name was Dog. About 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, he went to raising hell. So I just, you know, believe it or not, in my neighborhood, we still got skunks and possums and stuff like that, plus other dogs, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why that woke me up, but because I usually didn't wake up, and usually he's out inside anyway. But it woke me up, and he was barking at that back fence, at our back fence. But at the time, as you walk out my back door, I had an old apricot tree. So unless you went out there, you know, you couldn't see. And I just hollered at him because, you know, thinking it was another dog, because there was always, and traffic, there was human traffic back there. But usually it was other dogs, yeah. There was other dogs or cats, there was always animals through there. So I just, you know, I really didn't think nothing about it. I just hollered at him and he came in and I went back to bed.
So you actually let him back into the
Yeah.
house?
Yeah.
So you opened, what, your back door, I'm assuming, and let him in? Did you go investigate?
No.
Did you look down the alley?
No.
Anything like that?
No, because usually in the past, whenever I did, that's what it was, you know, either another dog or people use that alleyway, you know, to get through. Why, I don't know, because I mean, I don't know where you'd be going other than from house to house, but there was always, not always, but there was traffic.
Okay. And speaking of the alleyway, did you have any kind of a gate or anything that went out to it? So you didn't have access to it through your backyard?
No.
I mean, I think that'd be ideal to be able to go out into the alley and you could back a trailer up, and it just seems like everybody'd have a gate.
Well, the house next door to me didn't have a fence. So whenever I weed-eated or, you know, did whatever, because I always weed-eated, you know, 2 foot around from my fence, you know, next door, and then that alleyway, which the alleyway was.
Because I read your statement, you said you saw your gate ajar. Which gate was that?
Gate ajar.
Yeah. You didn't have a gate on the back or on the side? Did you have a gate on the side of the house?
Yeah, we got a gate. Well, it's a gate, but no, it wasn't ajar.
Okay.
Anything else that night after you let Dog back in? Did anything else occur that you remember?
No, I went back to bed, being done.
Okay. And then when did you first become aware of Kirsten was missing and all that was going on?
Well, the next day there was all that activity, and I asked the neighbor across the street what was going on. They said they couldn't find Kirsten, and I didn't think nothing about it, you know. I went to work, and then I don't remember if she called me or I called over there or what, and they said they was wanting people back, you know, because they wanted to go to our houses and blah, 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 so clocked out and came back home.
Do you remember what time it was that you clocked out, came back home?
No.
Was this morning? Was this afternoon?
It was, probably mid-morning, something like that.
Now, who was the friend that you were communicating with?
It was, and I don't know what her name is. Y'all showed me a picture of her.
Okay.
I think y'all showed me a picture of her. Anyway, of her husband, Don.
Is this the Halseys, Tiffany Halsey and Don Halsey?
I guess, yeah.
I'm not sure if Mr. Halsey is Don or not. Did you have
somebody had called me, said that we were wanted back at our house.
Okay.
So I came home.
Okay. And then what happened?
I just sat there.
Did any of our officers or the FBI or anybody come by?
It was the FBI, you know.
Okay.
We came in, took statements, we, walked through the house and, wanted to go in the backyard and, because I had a shed back there. He wanted to look in the shed and...
Okay. So he did look through the house and look through the shed?
Yeah.
You probably don't remember who that was, I'm sure.
No.
Okay. And was he just asking you general questions about Kirsten, and did you know her, have you seen her, that kind of thing, or?
Basically.
Did you write out a statement for him, or was it just a conversation?
I thought he wrote out a statement.
Okay.
But he asked me if he'd come in, he wanted, asked me what I knew, which at the time really wasn't anything. He said they was going through canvassing the neighborhood and,
yeah.
Asking everybody and,
yeah.
So yeah.
17 years ago, Tony, were you experimenting with any drugs?
No.
Never did?
No. I drink beer.
That's it? Just drank?
I drink beer. But as far as drugs, no.
Was Kirsten ever one of the kids that you had seen, or was there any talk in the neighborhood about her being mistreated or abused or in need?
No, because like I said, I had no inkling that they even existed until after that. I didn't know.
You had never seen her, anything?
Maybe once or twice, and didn't think nothing about it. Just another kid.
Yeah. Okay.
Speaking of 17 years ago, who all was living there at your house back then?
Just me.
Okay, so you lived alone. Do you recall, were you dating anybody? Did you have a girlfriend?
Me and Melody were off and on.
Okay.
Years.
For years? And you said that was Melody Howell, right?
Yes.
And what's her daughter's name?
Tristy. She's got two daughters, Tristy and Robin.
Tristy?
Mm-hmm.
T-R-I-S-T-Y?
S-T.
And Robin?
Robin.
Did you say S-T-I?
No.
Or Y? Okay. Do you know what Tristy and Robin's last names are?
Tristy's was Howell at the time. Robin was married, I think, at the time.
So she was going for something different. Would Melody come stay the night with you sometime?
Oh.
That kind of thing? Okay. But she didn't live there full time?
No. But she's, like I said, she passed away about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. That's not good. As far as other people you hung out with back then, do you have any good friends or anybody that you associated with in the neighborhood, or?
Oh, in the neighborhood? No.
Okay, how about just generally, like who were your friends, best you can recall back then?
Basically just people that I worked with.
Okay. Up there at the Capitol?
Right.
No long lost pal from school or anything?
No.
I guess you moved off from New Mexico and left them there, didn't you?
And I'm not the kind that goes to a bar, if I'm not drink, I drink at home. I know I've met a lot of people, but...
So you would drink some, but didn't experiment with drugs, didn't do marijuana, anything?
No.
Did they drug test back in them days? At your work?
Well, they always hung that over on us, but we never had got UA.
Okay. it was kind of the threat.
Yeah. There was some I wish they would have.
You ever had any trouble with the law, Tony?
Oh, yeah.
Before?
Years ago, first degree burglary and assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. I think I told your partner that.
Really?
Back when I was a dumb kid.
How long ago was that?
I was, I think, fixing to turn 18.
Oh, so you were just a boy.
Yeah. And all about it, my girlfriend.
Where was that at?
Walters, Oklahoma.
Oh, okay, up in Cotton County.
Yep.
And you
When
were
I got out of
18?
the Job Corps, they found me a job there in Walters as a diesel mechanic.
Is that what your training was?
Actually, I was training
At
for
the
auto
Job Corps.
mechanic, but they found me a job as a diesel mechanic, and the counselor at Job Corps, he made some deal with the government that if the government or the employer would pay half the wages, they would pay, for OJT.
Right. Uh-huh.
So it was a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it was. I'm surprised that you didn't stay with that, because diesel mechanics make some money.
Yeah, but it's hard work.
Or is it? It can be harder than weed eating all
Yes,
day
they
long.
can too. Some of them parts weigh, heads for one of the Versatiles was probably 200 pounds, and you got a tire about that high, and you got to get it up on that, and get it, on the block, and then you're torquing stuff at 240 foot-pounds, laying on your back, and it's hard.
In the last 17 years, Tony, have you changed much? Is this how you were 17 years ago? Just a hard-working man?
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've changed odor-wise, but no.
And I'm not the same person I was 17 years ago. I've matured a little bit. And
I wish I could say that.
life changes people, as you get older, you start recognizing things that you could handle differently than what you, if you had it to do over again, you'd change, I can truly say
That's
that.
the thing, we can't ever change it.
Yeah, no, you can't change what happened, but sometimes you can make things better. I remember a few years ago, I went to my high school reunion, and I seen a kid that, honestly, I just tormented to death. I made and I was able to find him and
Make amends.
I make amends and apologize and tell him how, that I was immature at the time, and ask for his forgiveness. And I think by the end he actually remembered some of the things I'd done, and we talked about it, and I felt a lot better, and I think he felt better at the end. I know I did, when he said he gave me some absolution, some forgiveness for what. I know you weren't very mature back then, and
Well, it's good for your own self-respect too.
It is to get it out. And I tell you what, the weight, and I don't know why God had put on me a burden of guilt. I don't want to use the word guilt, but I really felt like after I did that, I had a new outlook. And because I picked on him, but I also got picked on too. Every kid does. And it helped me deal with my tormentors and forgiving them, and realizing, because I came from a poor family, I was white trash, lived in a trailer park, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't have the nice clothes, and I had 2 pairs of blue jeans and PF Flyers. Remember PF Flyers? If I was really lucky, I got some. But point
Was that
being,
shoes or jeans?
No, PF Flyers were black and white tennis shoes. They were the
Okay.
first ones that you ran, that you could run really fast.
Well, when I moved to California, my problem was, growing up, I had crooked feet.
Right.
And the only thing that would fix that was cowboy boots.
Right.
So when I moved to Delano, California, I was the only kid in my school who had cowboy boots.
I imagine.
Yeah, it wasn't
They all
fun.
had sandals and
Tennis shoes.
tennis shoes and all that. But I felt very fortunate to be able to, that he was at this reunion. And we were a small class. There was only about 50 of us, so we all knew each other. And he was dirt poor like me, and which made it even worse. I should have been picking on the
rich kid.
on the rich kid, but I didn't. But point being that I really felt a lot better about it, and even now, after I mean, that was my 25th high school reunion that I was able to do that.
He still picks on me though, so he really hasn't changed his ways.
Once a bully, always a bully.
But see, he like
He asked for it.
next week he's gone fishing. The week before he was gone fishing.
You get to go fishing
Yeah.
for a week?
Yeah.
Don't
I call it
discourage him,
vacation.
because when he's gone,
Do whatever you want to.
it's all right.
It's my therapy.
It's all right.
Actually, it is therapy. It's very good therapy.
It is, 'cause I'm like you. I work. I mean, that's all I ever known was to work. But now my wife doesn't understand that working is therapy too, especially.
Well, I've always suffered from depression back when I was a young kid. So, and that always seems like working, I guess, gets your mind off of whatever it is you're thinking about, or, whatever. So that's all I do is work.
It gives you a sense of accomplishment too. That's one thing we really.
Well, especially when your folks tell you that you ain't worth a shit, you'll never amount to hell of beans and blah 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 blah.
I know.
Showed you, didn't it? Still not out.
Is that how you grew up in a tough environment like that?
That's a shame. I remember my dad. I wrestled and went to state, and Dad never saw me wrestle. And I asked him about it one day, and because it bothered me for years, and he goes, "Well, I never discouraged you from doing it."
When that hit you.
And he goes, my dad would, down there on the farm, Pa, he was a rough man. He would browbeat those boys. So Dad has progressed he's better than his father. Hopefully I'm better than my father was as far as encouraging.
Yeah, but that's telling you that he didn't discourage you, Because what for? You ain't gonna be worth a damn. Yeah, blah 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 blah. Don't.
That's wrong.
Been there, done that. Yeah.
And that affects you.
Yeah.
I mean, that stays with you for life. I'm always on my boy because my grandson's the greatest thing that walks the face of the earth, and I'm always on him. Hey, you're too hard on that boy. You're too hard on that boy. You're too hard on him. And so hopefully he's a better father than I am. He is. So, but I was very fortunate to get some things off my chest over the years, and as I get older, my dad has even talked to me about things that he has wished he had redone,
Yeah, I think everybody has. The only thing that really, and that's probably getting completely off the deal, but when I left Walters, when I got in trouble with Walters, I was going out with an angel. I mean,
good woman, huh?
My biggest mistake. Yeah, I fucked up big time.
Did you?
That's the only time I can really say that I fucked up.
Lose your temper.
Well, yeah, that's basically what had happened. He was picking on her, and I had, like a dumb kid, had to go do something about it.
Well, not necessarily a dumb kid. Sometimes men got to do.
Well, now there's other ways of doing stuff, but. And of course, I've been drinking.
Right. That's not the best decision-making process. Conducive to great decision-making, believe me. I was telling my partner as we was driving out to your work that I was 16 years old and we had cut school, and back then that's where we went drinking.
Dirty Bird?
Dirty Bird. And
Did you ever lose any jewelry after?
No, but I put my Mustang in the ditch out there. And I shouldn't have. And I tried to
I was
hide
telling
it.
them I've probably found 200 gold rings since I've been out there.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Do they wash up on the bank with current and waves, or do you think they get lost there?
Well, they get lost and then they get covered up, because of the wave action, and then the wave action uncovers it again, and then you have to be at the right time at the right place.
Yeah.
So every time, after the wind's blowing, I check my shoreline. Because I hate glass in the water.
Yeah.
That's another one of my pet peeves.
Yeah.
Stepping on that.
Yeah.
Well, first month I was there, I was out at Turkey Pass picking up trash, and people were from out of state. Kid goes in the water, what's the first thing he does? Steps on a damn rusty hook.
Mm-hmm.
And after that I thought, no. So every day, I'd go out there and I'd have a couple 5-gallon buckets, and I'd fill them suckers up. Okay, you know, I do that enough, you know, I'd get it all, but you don't.
No.
You'd be surprised. You get out there and you have it spotless, next day, next wind, like nothing ever, you know, you never did that, nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, to get back to what we're here about, I mean, you've been living there all these years since Kirsten went missing. I'm curious about your thoughts on what happened, who might be involved, that kind of thing.
I don't know, to tell you the truth. Like I said, I didn't know him. But the one thing that's always bothered me, that she left, the mom, she went to Jones, I guess, with her dad or something like that. You couldn't have got me off out of my house. I mean, I know, what if she comes back, or, you know, what if somebody makes a call, or, you know, something like that. There was no way I'd left that house. That's the only thing that bothers me.
Yeah. So you felt like she shouldn't have left, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever, at any point over these years, or back when it occurred, have any knowledge of what happened, or know who was involved?
No.
Were you in any way involved?
No. No.
So you're not responsible
No.
for Kirsten's disappearance?
No.
Didn't play any part in that?
No. Like I said, didn't know him. Didn't have, like I said, I just barely, you know, might have seen her once, twice, playing with the kids, but other than that, I didn't know him.
What, just out of curiosity, what do you think the motivation was of whoever did this? I mean, why would this have happened?
Well, then I couldn't have told you, but after, over the years, you know, and hearing the rumors and this and that and the other, it always boils down to drugs. You know, I heard that she was on meth and cocaine and all this other, and Dawn's wife was the same thing. You know, she said, yeah, she'd been over there, you know, that night, and they got lit up. So apparently she did get lit up, because, you know, if somebody did come in, I mean, wouldn't you have heard it? I don't know.
So
but I know
does that
some
mean
people,
that she left Kirsten home alone, you think? Or
I don't know, but I'm sure she did. But I don't know. Like I said, I didn't know him, and I really didn't pay much attention to Don and his wife. It's just
where did they live? I'm pretty sure
kind of
that's
catty
all
corner
this-
for me.
Straight
In White
across the
House.
street?
Not straight, just catty corner. A little White House, catty corner for me.
Okay.
And they had 2 or 3 kids, and I'd come home one day, I was rewarding myself. I did something, and I was stopped at Kentucky Fried Chicken, got me a family pack of chicken. I was going to go down. And the kids, whenever I walked up, they was just, the way they were eyeballing me, you know, like they hadn't ate nothing. I mean, they were really, if you'd have seen them, you'd have thought that too, because I mean, they were skinny. So I got me a piece of chicken, I was chewing on it, and they just, you want some chicken? Yeah. Is that all right if they can have this? Yeah. So I just gave them the whole damn thing.
Yeah. That's good.
Because no, it's not, no, it's something everybody ought to do. When you got kids that are, you know.
Yeah.
And I know he was a welder by trade, but he, you know, talking to him a time or two, you know, things weren't going right for him, and, you know, he didn't have money and all that. So, yeah, I didn't have a problem, you know.
Who are we talking about was a welder? Don? Okay. From looking back over the history, I understood that Shannon's brother, I guess, stayed with you for a short time.
Aaron.
Yeah,
Aaron.
Tell us about that. How did that happen? And
he was in the neighborhood, you know, he's apparently looking for, you know, his niece. So I'm out there one day, and he stops and he talks, you know anything, and blah, 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 you know, and we just got to talking, and, you know, he's living in a damn, you know, under a bridge, and dude, you know, I found out already that night that he'd been locked up, you know, so he wasn't a suspect in my book. So, yeah, I opened my house to him, you know, if you ain't got no, because I did that for anybody, you know. It's sick to say, but that's the kind of guy I am. So he needed a place to stay. There's a couch, you know, you can trash here for a couple days and, you know, try to do what you got to do to, you know, figure out what happened to your niece. Because, I mean, to me, that's, like y'all, that's serious.
Sure, absolutely.
That's a serious
How
deal.
long after Kirsten went missing did this happen? Was it like the same week? Was
Yeah,
it
probably in the same week.
in the same week?
Yeah.
And then
I can't verify that, because like I said, that's been a while.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it was probably about in the same week.
How long did Aaron stay there with you?
Just a couple of days, and then, you know, he'd go off, and then he'd come back, and then I wound up having to just tell him he couldn't come back, because he was on meth too. At the time, didn't know it.
And
I don't
say
play
too,
that
because
shit.
you've heard that Shannon was using drugs too.
I mean, I don't know for a fact, but that's what I heard.
And I'll just say this: if you ever partied with them, if you knew they were doing drugs or witnessed it, just tell us that.
No,
because
no.
we're not.
No, I don't. No. Like I said, and y'all know, you got people that do drugs, and you got people that drink, and you don't do drink, and you don't, I drink.
Yeah.
But no, I never partied with him. And I never partied with Don and his wife.
Okay. Now, did you know Aaron at all before?
No.
So you'd never met him, never talked to him
No.
before either? Did he ever confide in you anything about the case or anything about
Just that
Shannon?
he couldn't clear his sister. Those words will always, I can't, it's the way he said it.
Mhm.
I can't clear my sister.
So he was suspicious of Shannon, huh? Did he ever give you any real factual information that would be beneficial to the case?
No, like I said, I'm here on my own free will. If I had any information, yeah, I'd give it to you. Because that'd be the same thing if something were to happen to my daughter. My God, yeah. I don't know how she does it. I mean, if she's innocent, God bless her soul. I don't know how she does it, because just thinking about it, what would I do if my daughter come up missing?
Oh, yeah.
And she's my world. That's all I've got. My old lady can go to hell, but my kid, that's no.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
That's
I mean,
on me in jail, because I'll be carrying Midwest City.
It's hard to imagine. We've talked a lot about kind of the background. I want to kind of talk to you about some new information developed in this case, okay? As you know, Detective Miller got some buccal swabs from you a couple months back or whenever it was. There was a reason for that, okay? And we collected DNA samples from lots of people, but we had resubmitted some evidence from the case and got a DNA hit, okay? The reason those buccal swabs were being collected was we were trying to find the person
DNA.
responsible. Okay. We talked about, had you ever been in the backyard, had you ever been in the house, all those things, and you said you hadn't.
Not while they were there, no.
Okay. Well, I don't believe you,
Oh.
Tony. I don't think you're telling the whole truth, okay? Your DNA is in the backyard the morning that she was discovered missing, okay? And on her window, and on the panties she'd been wearing the night before that were recovered in the backyard.
No. No, not me, because no. Mm.
Yeah, that's the truth.
I find it far-fetched, but no. Because I don't know, I didn't know him.
And maybe you didn't know him, Tony, but we need
And I didn't have no business over there at all.
That may be also. What we need to talk about is what you were doing in that backyard that night and what happened. We need to get to the truth of
I
what
have
happened.
no idea what you're talking about.
Were you there trying to help Kirsten?
No. Like I said, I didn't know anything about them people at all. Nothing. Nothing. Never met them. Never said hi, bye, nothing.
Well, here's our problem with that, is how did your DNA get there then?
Don't know.
I mean, is this something that's gone on, Tony, that, is this one of those things from 17 years ago that a split-second decision has haunted you for 17 years?
I don't know what y'all are talking
Were
about.
you there to help her?
No. Like I said, I have nothing to do with them people, nothing. I didn't know them at all.
Okay, so how did your DNA
I
get
have
on
no idea.
there?
I have no idea.
Tony, your blood is on her window. Your blood is on Kirsten's panties.
I don't see how that can happen.
Well, it happens when you're injured in some way, and your blood gets transferred to her window and those panties.
Yeah, here's
And it
what
gets
I
left
think
behind.
happened. I think you were there to help.
No. I wasn't there, period.
So how
Yeah.
did your blood get there?
I have no idea.
Tony, you were there. This is scientific evidence. It's not a debate. It's not anything that can be argued.
And here's the point where I really feel you're a good guy. I mean, you've worked 29 years at a hard job. You came up rough like I did. Came up poor.
Yeah, but that's
Okay.
beside the point. I had nothing to do with any of this.
But here's the thing. I don't think that was your intention. You're going to have to explain this.
I
If
don't
you were
know
there,
how I do it.
if you were there, if you were there because you heard her yelling for help from your backyard, and you go over there to see because you knew that her mother was a meth head and that she was probably at home alone, and you went over there to help,
No.
and you went to the backyard to avoid a conflict with the mother, and you was just going to take care of this little
No.
girl because just like you, growing up, you didn't want her being treated that way.
Not me.
That's how understandable things become.
You know, I could understand that, but I don't understand how you're
Maybe
getting
you-
my DNA.
Maybe, well, how was your blood there?
I have no idea.
Well,
I wasn't there at all.
We weren't there either. All we have is this, the evidence that was collected.
Hmm.
I didn't collect it. It was collected 17 years ago, Tony. But it's there. And we have to deal with this. And you're saying you were never there.
No.
There's no reason it should be there.
No.
It's not helping your cause. What's going to help your cause is to explain to us how it's there.
I
Because the
don't
fact,
have a clue.
because the fact it's there is the gorilla in the room. Now, there's a reasonable explanation as to why you were there, and you were there to help Kirsten.
No.
You were there for, you had a relationship with Shannon.
No. Never knew her.
You were there as a peeping Tom or something of this nature.
No.
Then those are explainable.
Yeah, I understand that, but no. Never there.
Never there.
Never there.
Can't give us any reason
No.
why your blood would be there.
No.
Tony, the worst thing you can do for yourself right now in this position is lie and not be truthful.
I'm being truthful, dude.
No.
I don't know how, I can't explain that, why that y'all are finding this.
Well, your blood is in that backyard the morning that she's discovered missing, okay? This is your chance, Tony,
I understand
to
that, but
explain what happened. Maybe you didn't mean
no.
for whatever
I was
happened to
not
happen.
there.
You were there.
You were there. Was
There's
you
no
in
doubt
a
about
depression? Was that a period when you were going through a depression and drinking and getting depressed, and you don't remember until later what actually
No.
occurred?
I don't even think I was drinking that night. Tell you the truth, I might have been, but I don't think so. And I was in bed. And
So
I'm
this
pretty
isn't
sure
the
I
deal-
don't sleepwalk.
This isn't a deal where you got drunk the night before and actually went through with some urges you had,
No.
whether you're attracted to little girls
No.
or whatever your
I've
thing
never
might
been
be.
attracted to little girls or little boys.
Well, once again, how is your blood there?
I don't know.
Do you not believe me when I tell you that we have your DNA?
No, I don't.
You don't believe me? Okay. And I can show you the.
Oh, I'm sure you
paperwork
could
from
if
FBI.
that's with that, but I don't know how that could have happened.
Well, there's
I
more.
wasn't there.
There's more to this story, Tony, and that's what we're hoping to get from you today. And this is your opportunity to be truthful and to take responsibility for whatever happened.
Yeah, if I was responsible, that'd be different.
Okay. Well, with that said, were you there and somebody else was there and actually took her, and maybe you left your DNA
I was
behind?
not there. I'm not into little girls, and I'm not a window peeper.
Okay. Well, is there some other explanation for why you were in that backyard that night?
I wasn't in that backyard. I don't know how my blood could have been there or what. I know I went to bed. I know when the dog woke me up, I didn't go out my back door. I let dog in, and I went back to bed.
Well, Tony, I don't know how to impress upon you any more than we've got the physical evidence there, and we have to deal with that, Tony. We really do. And we have to get to a point where we can explain that.
I understand that.
Well, help me do that.
I wish I could. I don't know what y'all are talking about.
Okay.
I don't sleepwalk.
Tony, I think that you've been living with this a long time. And I think
Living with what?
with what happened. And I think that it's one of those things, Tony, where you're scared, but I think there's some verses that says, at some point everything is known. And I truly believe that. And one of these days that you're going to have to come to realize that. And I think that your best bet is simply tell the truth.
I've been telling the truth.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, what you're telling me doesn't align with any of the physical evidence that we have. And unless there's a huge conspiracy to the FBI and the OSBI and our officers from 17 years ago to frame you, we have to explain this. And I really think you need to talk about it, because I think that's the best thing for you to do, is simply tell us the truth. I think you're going to feel better about it. You're going to have a weight lifted off your shoulders.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, you got somebody's blood, but not mine. I was not there.
Okay.
Not that night, not the night before, not the night after.
Did someone talk you into doing something, going with them?
No, I wouldn't do that.
So how do we explain your blood?
I have no idea.
Well, the blood's going to have to be explained, Tony. It's going to have to be. Yeah, I mean,
And I'm trying to go in my head how anything, but whenever she was living there, I didn't go there. I was there when William was there.
Yeah.
And even then, I don't see how to cut myself on a window.
Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't there, brother.
I don't know either.
Okay. Well, I'm telling you that the physical evidence is going to have to be explained. I think that you made a mistake. I think you've lived with us a long time, and I believe that your depression issues and things, and the way you were raised, and the abuse that you took as a child,
I've never been that depressed.
It has something to do with it. I really do.
This is our OSBI results. I kind of, no disrespect, I get the impression maybe you don't believe me when I told you what I told you. So I want to just bring you the copy directly from OSBI, and we've highlighted it here for you, okay? I just want you to understand that this isn't a bluff, Tony. You see those odds? Those odds, I can just tell you from my years of experience, I've never seen at that level, which means this is your DNA. Okay, this is your blood, Tony. Okay.
Don't know.
Here is, that's Kirsten's panties that her mom identified that she had on that night. And that's where your blood was found, as well as on her windowsill. So this isn't just a, and just so you'll know, we also located some blood on the fence picket, and it's still out for testing, but I suspect that there's a good chance that'll come back to you.
I can't explain it.
And that's what I want to give you an opportunity to do, is explain it, because it's scientific evidence. We know for a fact it's your blood. And of course, Tony, I don't have to tell you that when these panties are identified as Kirsten's, and Mom says, yeah, she was wearing those the night before, and the next morning at dawn, your blood is found in them at the back fence of the property. I mean, if you're in my position as the detective, what does that tell you?
Don't look good for me.
No. And I just want to plead with you to be honest.
I want to be honest.
I want
and
you to
I'm
be
doing
honest.
honest.
No.
I don't.
I mean, Tony, I think this has gone on for so many years and has been unsolved, as you well know, for a long, long time. And I'm sure you've told people countless times, I had nothing to do with it, I don't know anything about it, etc., etc. But this isn't the time to keep saying the same old routine, because this isn't going away. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, this is scientific evidence, Tony. That's your DNA. That's your cells from your body. Tell me what happened. How did you get injured?
I'm trying to figure it out myself. What all this is about.
I mean, you were in some way injured for your blood to be on her window and for your blood to be in her panties. What I want to know from you, was there some kind of a dispute between you and Kirsten?
I had no dealings with those people. Didn't know nothing about them.
I believe
at
that.
all.
I believe that. But I also believe that this is your DNA on her windowsill and your DNA on her panties in the backyard. I don't doubt that you didn't know them, but that doesn't take this away. This isn't going anywhere. And we've got to get to the truth of the matter. I mean, for you to sit here and say, I've never been in that backyard and I wasn't there, it's a lie, Tony.
Yeah,
that's not the truth.
Yeah.
It's not the truth. And I gotta believe, if I can speak frankly, you seem like a good guy. And I know if I'd made a mistake like that, and we all make mistakes, we're all sinners, but I gotta believe this has been bugging you for your entire life since it happened. If it doesn't, then you're a cold-blooded killer, Tony. Is that what you're telling me?
I ain't never killed nobody.
Okay. So you're telling me what happened that morning or that night hadn't been bothering you all these years?
That's not me. Was
that the alcohol, or were you experimenting with something else?
I don't do drugs, and I don't know. I'm still trying to fathom in my mind what my blood.
Yeah.
I was nowhere around there, didn't know them people, didn't have no dealings with them people. didn't care about
Listen,
some people.
Tony, this is your
I understand,
opportunity.
okay.
You can sit here and say that same crap over and over. You and I both know that's not the truth.
No, it's the truth will have to come out. I don't understand this.
The truth is what needs to come out.
Yeah.
And you're the only person that can do that. You're the only person that can bring Kirsten back and let her family have a proper burial for her. You're the person that can help do that. You made a mistake, Tony. Okay, you made a huge mistake. Do what's right now. Take responsibility for what happened and help us get Kirsten back.
Can't help you. Don't know. I don't understand.
You said that's not me, and when somebody says that to me, what it says is
That's not,
I wasn't in my right mind. I was
No.
under the influence.
Well, in the influence, like I said, if I had a beer, I might have had two. I went to bed. I always go to bed. I'm a 10 o'clock bedtime guy. The only reasons here lately I haven't been going to sleep is because I have to have a treatment. And I wake up every 2.5 hours, 3 hours, take treatment, go back to sleep. I have nothing bothering me other than breathing problems.
So your conscience hadn't been bothering you for all these years.
No.
Let me ask you this. Your wife told us that every year on Kirsten's anniversary that you're upset about it, that you go through a phase of being depressed and upset about it.
And the reason that is, it's on the news, and yeah, how do you feel about it? Well, yeah, I'm going to be upset. I mean, it's a missing child. Duh.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, as far as me, oh, what day is this? No.
It's not just a missing child, Tony. It's a missing child with your blood on her windowsill and your blood on her panties. So should that affect you? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that tells me you're human. That tells me that you have a heart and you have a conscience. But you're not showing it, sitting here and denying that you've never been in there. I don't know anything about it. That wasn't me. That's not the truth, Tony. This is the time
I
to get this off
understand
your
that.
chest.
That's, but I don't get it.
Now, you need to think about that, because I'm just telling you, when all this gets presented to the judge and jury,
I understand.
do you think anybody's going to believe what you're saying?
Good on me.
No.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to believe you,
I just,
because it's not the truth, Tony. If you want to carry it to your grave and not do what's right, that's on you. But you need to think about what you're doing, because right now, these
I'm
decisions
thinking
you're
about
making...
how's my damn blood or me, because I was not there. And I know in that night I was in my same mind. I'll read that deal again.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Well, it's pretty clear.
No.
You know how big sextillion is?
No such thing.
Huh?
No such thing. Too big.
Yeah, it's too big. I mean, you can line people up from planet Earth all the way to the moon. You remember me, don't you? I mean, I've been working on this case for 2 years. Here, look at me real quick. I've been working on this for 2 years. I've got a little girl that's about her age, Kirsten's age at the time. And this case is all I think. This case has taken over me, and
I can imagine.
It's all I think about, you know. And I told you earlier on, you know, all the cases I work is crimes against children cases. So my whole life, I go home, I have kids. I come to work, I deal with kids, you know. And you seem like you said in our past, you know, conversations we've had, all you do is you care about kids. You take care of the neighborhood kids, and you got a heart just like
I don't
me.
understand that.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to figure out, Tony, is
how is your blood, your DNA, get on it? And you were there when I took your sample from you, right? We had an unknown male profile DNA on her panties and on her windowsill.
It don't make no sense to me.
All I'm concerned about is where's she at, Tony?
I'm sure.
Where's she at? Help me find her. I mean, we got pictures of windowsills and of the windowsill that day. You know, we can go right down the line with all these pictures. You know, you say, oh, I mean, everything. Of course, today it's a totally different ballgame. There'd be 500 pictures of a windowsill, and it's all there. I mean,
Did you figure out the print?
yeah, those are kids' prints there.
I was not there the day before, that day, next day. I know.
Have you talked with the FBI since the last time you and I spoke?
No.
Okay. What all have you done for the FBI? Have you taken a polygraph? Have you been to their office?
The only time I was talked to the FBI was when they were in my house.
Okay. But you never taken a polygraph or anything like that. Didn't we ask you about a polygraph when I spoke with you last? I don't think we did.
No, but the twisty deal.
Okay. Oh, that's right. You did take a polygraph with that.
Two of them.
Yes. But we need to figure this out.
Yeah, you do.
But you're my key. You're the one that can help me, Tony. I want you to help me.
If I could, I would, because it's making me look real bad.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm not going to hear, I'm not going to browbeat you, I'm not going to be mean or anything, but I need the truth.
I understand. I need the truth, too.
I need to find her. I need to find Kirsten. Help me find her.
I can't help you.
Was there somebody else involved?
I can't help you on that either. No, I didn't help anybody or help myself take this girl.
Then how do you explain the blood?
I don't. And I can't.
You got let me see your arm. You have a scar on your arm. What happened there?
I was picking up a toilet bowl and it cracked
When was that?
last year.
Hey, I don't mean to be rude. I'm Major David Huff. I'm pretty much these guys' boss. The guys have been out there kind of talking to me about the interview. What do you say? Let's take a break for just a minute. I don't want you getting upset at us. We really are trying to get to the truth, but I don't want you getting upset with us. Take a drink of water. We'll just relax for a minute, okay? We'll just take a deep breath. All right. I know.
Last night, smoke a cigarette?
Yeah, come on out with us. You're gonna have to go with us, though, okay?
Okay. Yeah, I understand.
Let me make sure we don't have any juveniles out here. Hold on just a second. Yeah, hold on just a second. Hey, we got juveniles and stuff out here. I'll normally don't do it. I'll let you smoke in here.
Cool.
I normally don't do that. Okay. Yeah. There's some kids around
You want me to wait?
there. No, go ahead, man. You're fine. We normally don't let people do this, but I know you're
I
stressed.
know it's against the law anymore.
Well, I know you're stressed, so we're gonna allow it.
Well, I smoke 3 packs a day.
Do you?
Have since I was 12. I can't explain this. And the only thing that I'm thinking right now is, yeah, I'm being set up because we want to close this case. That's the only thing that's coming in my head right now. Seriously.
Okay. Well, I understand what you're saying. I'm gonna be honest with you. When this first stuff, the stuff first came out, the DNA, I want you to understand how it works, because not everybody does this, so it wouldn't be uncommon for you not to know. The normal person that doesn't do police work doesn't know. The DNA that we got off of these panties, that was taken all the way back when it happened, okay? And it was put into a container where we could keep it indefinitely, all right? It's been there ever since the FBI took it. When they were helping us, it was there, okay? We had what was called an unknown DNA sample. We knew that it was human DNA, we can tell that.
That's true.
Oh yeah, right. We knew that it was human DNA, okay? And we knew it was human DNA from a male. We can know that. What we don't know, when we got it back then, we didn't know the name attached to it. We didn't know whose DNA that was, okay? When the FBI and Detective Miller went out and got those swabs, okay, they got them from a bunch of people, all right? You being one of them. Then it was tested against a sample that was taken off the windowsill and off of the panties, which, by the way, I don't know if they told you this or not, but also has Kirsten's DNA on it. Because little kids, they do a little pee-pee in their pants and skid marks. So her DNA's on it, your DNA's on it, and it's also on the windowsill. That was all done way back when this all happened. It's just now that the DNA results have come back. And I don't know if they told you this. You seem like an intelligent man. So to help you comprehend when we're talking about when we say we know this to be a fact, the number sextillion, what this is saying, if you take a 1 and you put 21 zeros behind it,
Yeah,
it's yours. Anybody in the world, any scientist is going to say that that is your blood. Now, obviously, when we have a case like this, we're not going to, Mr. Palmer, we're not going to lay out everything that we know and everything we have. That's just not the way it works. It'd be counterproductive. We're not going to do it. There's more than this, but we want to try to get you to digest one thing at a time. Now, having said that, do we know all the circumstances surrounding what happened that night? We don't. Only God, the person who did it, and Kirsten probably know that. But I'm going to tell you this. We do know that Kirsten was wearing those that night. We do know that your blood's on there and her DNA's on there. And that is just an absolute fact.
Right. Yeah, I understand that.
And I tell you, just listening and talking to you, 17, 18 years now has passed. I'm going on my 25th year here. I worked every case you could probably imagine. So is Detective Miller, like he was telling you. We're not brilliant men by any stretch of the imagination, but when it comes to this stuff, we're pretty darn smart. And this is what it boils down to. This much time can pass, and if something horrible happens in your life that you don't want to remember, you can put it in a little box and put it out here and try to keep it away from you. But it happens. I've had to put horrible things that have happened in my life and put it in a little box out here and just hope that it goes away, and that pray that one day it doesn't come out, because I've seen some terrible things.
I can imagine.
And here's what I think, and you know, what I think may not matter to you, but it's from the heart. This is what I think. I think that you're not an evil person. I don't think you're an evil person. I've heard about your work history. You know, I know all that stuff. I know you're a dependable person, a hardworking man. I think on this one night, this one time, for whatever reason, that some demon inside you made a mistake. The fact is there. Here's how we look at it. You know, I'm about to retire. You know, I know he told you he's got a young daughter. We want to know where this baby's at. We want to know where she's at.
Sure. No, I can't help you. I don't understand any of this.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Why did you tell your wife that the FBI had given you a polygraph and you passed? She just told us that you said that.
No, I told her that y'all had gave me a polygraph, but it was, excuse me, for something altogether different, for the Tristy deal. I got 2 polygraphs that day.
Okay. So you think she just misunderstood?
Probably. And I told her the FBI was in my house. They shut my house down, garage, shed, all that.
Well,
And the only time this comes up is when she asks about it. And it's usually at the anniversary, because there's newspaper people or television people are knocking on the door. Do you still live here? Do you know? Blah, blah, blah. And that's it.
Who all still lives around here? You lived there the longest, right?
As far as I know. But
There's no one that still lives there that's there back when you were there. Well, Tony, we need your help.
you have another one? I do. I smoke 3 packs a day. Unfortunately for me. And if I could help you, I would help you.
Well,
But I don't like sitting in this situation.
I don't like
This don't look good for me at all.
No. And I've done research on, you know, what happened when you was in Walters and stuff like that, and I've listened to part of the interview, you know, here this morning, and is there a chance that maybe you blacked out and did it? That you went over there and did something? You said something about you don't think you sleepwalk.
No. I'm just going through scenarios.
Okay, I mean,
And that was kind of being sarcastic.
Well, taking note brings up a good point. I mean, from what we've read from the report that happened there in Walters, that was a pretty horrific deal that happened.
Yeah.
And it kind of shows that it's somebody that can lose it.
Yeah, I was
For
a
whatever.
stupid kid that was drunk. And I still pay for that. That'll never go away.
Well, what it comes down to is this, you know, we've had a lot of people in this room and interviewed a lot of people about stuff similar to this, unfortunately. And there's two kinds of people we deal with. There's the people that when we present the evidence that we've got and they know that they've been found out, they stand up and take some type of responsibility and move on, or they deny it. And to me, that's the folks that are really evil. And I just didn't get the feeling that that was you, but I guess I could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time.
I can't explain it. And I'm still sitting here thinking, April's Fool, y'all come up with April Fool. 'Cause that's...
No, well, not on something this serious.
No, there's no April Fool.
Where do you think, if someone was to, the person that did do this, where would they take her and dump her at? Or if they would?
Couldn't tell you. I mean, I watch all the cop shows and stuff like that, or what I do watch, and there's no telling.
So you bring up cop shows, so I'm sure you...
My wife likes cop shows.
Yeah, you've watched a lot of
CSI and
stuff like that,
yeah.
so, you know, and most of the classes and all the research and stuff I've done with, you know, missing children, where they're usually located at, they're located, you know, where the suspect lives 2 doors down, 3 doors down, or in the same neighborhood, you know, so, I mean, you've hit the profile, you know, your past history shows that, you know, but...
That's another strike against me.
No, but like I said, people change, Tony. People change. You talk about your home life, how you grew up. I grew up with a single mom that raised 9 kids by herself. And I'm about the only one out of my family that's graduated school, that has a successful job.
Oh,
You know, people tell me, you can't do that, you're a piece of crap.
yeah, and I showed them that, no. But
Right.
it's not about anything like that. I was not sexually molested or abused. I was hated, but I found good in this. You know, he taught me some shit, and that's helped me, you know, go through my life. I know some stuff. I know carpentry, I know mechanics, you know. I cuss him to this day because he hated me.
Yeah.
But
Jack of all trades.
that didn't turn me into a monster.
Right. And
Because I was hated.
Yeah, and I don't think you're a monster. I think this is just one time something happened and it went a little too far and something had to, you know, an accident
Actually,
happened.
I'm in shock is what I am. 'Cause like I said, I am still thinking y'all going to say, yeah, well, but this is just a joke, or not a joke, but trying to get me to say something or...
I'm not here to lie. I'm not lying to you about anything. Like I told you from the get-go, you know, my job was to investigate this case and to go out, and I guarantee you, there were probably 30, 40 people that I went out and I got swabs from, just like you did on that day.
I'm in shock. I don't know what to say.
Well, Tony, you're the last person to touch her. You're the last person
That's what
to
it says
touch
right
her.
there.
That's her panties. You're the absolute last person that touched Kirsten. That with other things that we have and that we know and that we've learned, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, this guy especially has been pushing to allow him to be able to talk to you and try to make some sense about it and give you an opportunity to tell the truth. I was kind of against it, to be honest with you, because you don't get that kind of scientific evidence every day. That is absolutely the most astronomical thing that you could imagine. It's about like every grain of sand on the whole planet Earth, or the odds that it's not you that were the last person that touched her panties, that was the last person that went through that window. The odds are, they're incomprehensible. So is that the way it's going to be, Tony? Is it going to be a deal where till the day you die you're going to
proclaim my innocence? Yeah. I mean,
well,
that's it all right there.
Well, I can tell you this. Well, that's fair enough. I'm not going to argue with you or get into a battle with you. I can tell you this. Everything that we were going to do here today and everything that you were going to tell us is going to go into a report. It could either be a report saying that he manned up and had some remorse, or it can be that it's that evil person that we were afraid of. And that's up to you. That ball is totally in your court. But it's going to read one way or another. And that's up to you. Because it goes from us to the district attorney and then to the court. So it can read how you want. But giving you this opportunity, that was this gentleman's idea. And I gave him that opportunity. And I'll be able to go home and sleep tight tonight knowing that I gave you that shot. And if you don't want to take that shot, then that's fine. I can't force you to, Tony. All we want is the truth, and all we want is to finally be able to let a mother bury her child. That's what we want. Properly. We want her to be able to
I understand. I know you already think I'm guilty, but I know I'm not. So I don't know what else to tell you.
Well, Tony,
I'm still in shock.
I know you're in shock.
It doesn't compute.
Because it's been 17 years and you thought it was over. That's why you're in shock.
No, what I'm in shock about is you got my blood?
Yeah.
How's that possible?
I can't tell you that, but I can tell you that it is absolute. It is absolute. There is no maybe, there's a possibility. It is absolutely 100%.
Hey, do you want to take a break, give him some time to think about what we talked about?
Do you have any more? Do you have any more to smoke?
Not yet.
Go ahead and smoke for a minute. Let us go out here and talk. We'll get your head together. We'll give you one more opportunity to think about what I just said. Okay?
ask you again. Where's she at?
I can't help you.
Okay, I want you to understand too, and you probably already know this, you're not leaving this room today.
I understand that.
And you understand that it's probably going to be quite a while that you're going to spend in jail. Just because we don't have a body doesn't mean that we're not going to be able to charge you with anything.
I understand
I've got
that.
enough evidence against you. But, go ahead.
Tony, there's an arrest warrant in that deal signed by a judge, and it's for murder. and judges don't sign that unless there's probable cause. And to be fair to you, okay, to be fair to you, you're not going anywhere. You're being charged with murder. And here's the deal I want you to remember. Right now, we're interviewing every one of your family members. You can probably hear it in the next room. We're already at your house. We will have backhoes, ground penetrating sonar, cadaver dogs, the whole 9 yards.
We was laughing about that yesterday.
What's so funny about that?
If y'all were to ever go in our backyard, I got dogs and cats and pets everywhere in that backyard. I don't know what the hell we was laughing about that. We was watching something on TV.
Like where you bury them?
Or animals, yeah.
Well,
So we're not gonna find, and this is your opportunity, because, I mean,
You ain't gonna find Kirsten Hatfield in my backyard.
we're on your property anyway.
No.
Where do I find her?
I don't know.
Did you black out and you took her somewhere and dumped her?
I didn't get her.
Who did?
Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave it with, you're that person that has no remorse, and that's the way the report's gonna read.
Yeah.
Because what I'm seeing from you is, you could care less if we ever find her, and
Yeah, I did.
you could care less.
Just put a cigarette out for me. Turn around for me. Put your hands behind your back. Alright. You're under arrest for murder, kidnapped Kirsten Hatfield.